Our guest tonight is Will Trapp, the captain of Columbus Crew SC. Will is a local guy who grew up in Gahanna, where he developed a love for soccer and a hatred for people who spell his first name with two L's. W-I-L, people. Kidding here. Will loves everyone. He's a nice guy, and we are so excited to have him on the show tonight. And with that, welcome to Wall to Wall Sports, delivered by Donato's. I'm Dave Holmes.
And I'm Kayla Anderson. Busy show planned tonight, but first we need to send out a special thank you to Donato's for bringing in some pizza tonight. We love our Saturday night pizza fix. Donato's, every piece is important.
And now we bring in our guest tonight. Oh, Captain, my captain, Will Trapp, number 20 on Columbus Crew SC. When you found out you were team captain this year, what was your first reaction?
Wow. It's a dream come true in a lot of ways. It's a humbling experience to take it as a youth from Columbus, from Gahanna, Ohio, playing through the Crew Youth Academy, and then now be the captain of the team. It's a wonderful experience.
Well, I know it's still early in the season, but how are some of these younger guys mixing with the vets, and how do you feel like you guys are chemistry-wise this time?
I think it's been a perfect mixture of young guys and new players, as well as proven MLS players. And the chemistry's been wonderful. You can see our first win a couple weeks ago was a great game from a lot of youth, as well as guys who have been around the league for a little bit. And I think that's only just going to propel us further.
Okay, well, it's time here to play a game that we call Wall of 10, all right? Here's how it works. I'm going to ask Will 10 questions. Some are soccer, some are other sports, some are totally random. Kayla's going to pitch in her 2 cents as well. Here's your topics right here on the screen. Okay, topic 1, hometown team. So what is the best part about playing for your hometown soccer club?
Ooh, I've never gotten this question before. So
Wow.
I would say the best thing is having my family at every single game, every home game. Growing up in Columbus, seeing the growth of Columbus Crew SC, and then now being a part of it is pretty amazing.
I don't think many people have the opportunity to ever play for their hometown professionally. Is there anything crazy fan-wise that when you're out and about, you know, you've had a fan come up and have you sign something? I mean, is there any of that you go through?
Ooh. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I always joke that you would never think I'm a professional athlete. Pretty unimposing.
That's okay though, right?
Unimposing
It's okay
type of
with
guy.
you?
So no, I don't mind it whatsoever. Yeah.
Okay, question 2 here. We call this Captain Trapp. What is something that you have to do as captain that you weren't aware of before you got the job?
Ooh, this is a good one. I think the hardest part is now just coordinating with the wives and girlfriends of where they're going to sit during the games.
No way.
Organizing the suite and all that kind of stuff, that's my job now.
That's a brutal job.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that would be a part of your job. I mean, do you like this? Is this something you envisioned as a kid? Like, I'm going to be Captain Will.
I've always had leadership qualities that I've tried to bring out through my play, and like I said, it's a very humbling and awesome experience.
Okay, question 3 here, LOL. Funniest guy on Crew SC, who would that be?
Ooh, hands down, new guy, I guess. He was with the team a few years ago and came back to us this year, Josh Williams.
Okay, what's so funny about Josh?
Oh, man, it's mannerisms, it's just the things he says, and just the overall person that he is. He's just a complete clown. It's fantastic.
For some reason, and I don't know him well, but Ola jumped into my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he got any kind of funny bone in him?
He does. He's my roommate on the road, so we ham it up a little bit. But I still think Josh, for me, is the
Hands
funniest.
down?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to check that out in the future.
Yeah,
Moving
definitely
on.
fact check that.
We're going to call this puck luck, okay? It's time to get off the turf here, and let's go to the ice. I know you keep up with the Blue Jackets. I want you to play hockey analyst here. How far can this team go? Do you believe in the Jackets this year?
Absolutely. I've gotten to know a few of the guys, Nick Foligno, their captain, and just wonderful people off the ice. But you're seeing them put together a wonderful season, a comprehensive season. And I went to the game back when they trounced the Penguins 7-1.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those games where you could see all the work these guys have put in off the ice and on the ice. It's pretty amazing to see. So I think the President's Cup, that's it, right? The President's Cup. I don't follow hockey enough to know. But I think they can win that, and you never know with the playoffs.
So here's my thing with being a captain and kind of seeing how a team is from the start. I've talked to some of these guys, and they said, we just had this feeling from the start of training camp that this could be our season. Does that ever happen with teams? I mean, you guys 2 years ago went all the way to the Cup.
Absolutely.
Or a year ago, I should say.
Yeah, it's a collective energy, and I think based on the personnel in the locker room. I think this year we're stepping into a situation where we kind of have a similar feel of we could do something special. And I think you're seeing the Jackets do the same thing, and it's been amazing to watch.
Should be fun.
It is.
Let's move on here. Basketball science. I'm going to dispute this science. This week, a well-known computer simulation said the Celtics are more likely to win the NBA championship than the Cavs. You're a Cavs fan.
Smirking.
So what would you say to this computer?
The computer doesn't have LeBron James. I mean, I don't know. I don't read into the algorithms and all that stuff. I just think it's hard to bet against the King.
And here's the thing, I have said this before, I come from the Northwest and I didn't really follow a ton of teams over here. I was not a LeBron supporter at all. I was always an MJ guy.
Yeah.
But when I came here and started to cover the Cavs and saw just how much LeBron means to this team, means to any team that he's on, he really is that mold, that glue that brings them all together. And so you cannot count against him.
He makes everyone better.
Absolutely.
He really does.
Well, and here's the other thing I want to say about it. If that same computer would have said, what are the odds that Andre Iguodala makes that layup? It would have been 1%.
Right.
Or the odds the Cavs would come back from 3-1 down.
True.
So I'm going to dispute the science. Okay, moving on here. Mr. Hero. You are someone that a lot of kids look up to, a lot of soccer fans in Central Ohio. When you were a kid, what athlete was your hero? Who did you look at and say, wow, that's my guy?
Man, that's a tough one. You put me on the spot with this one.
That's the point of the game.
Man, I think for me, I loved soccer growing up, obviously.
Yeah.
And watching Columbus Crew when I was a kid, Brian McBride, I mean, a lot of Crew fans, a lot of U.S. national team fans, a lot of heartthrob moms loved Brian McBride.
Heartthrob moms.
So I was a big fan. I've been lucky to meet him a few times, and he's an even better person than he was a player. So that was a guy I looked up to a lot.
That's cool. I know we've had him on the show a couple of times. Definitely a great guy. Mine growing up, I played softball, and so mine growing up, and I know you probably have heard of her, is Jenny Finch.
Jenny Finch.
I mean, talk about soccer dads. I mean, there you go. But yeah, Jenny was always definitely somebody I looked up to, just being a softball player, and she was just like the role model that, and the person everyone wants to be, right?
Sure.
I went to church with Mark Price growing up, and as a diehard Cavs fan in Northeast Ohio and Akron, there's nothing cooler than Mark Price for me. He was my childhood hero.
That's
okay.
awesome.
It's about to get really serious up here. Now, you probably know where we're going with this one.
I don't know, actually, where you're going with this one.
You just got married in December, right?
Yes.
Give us the story of the proposal, because women watch this show and they will swoon whenever they hear a good proposal story.
Well, I had help from my sister and my brother. They were both pretty instrumental in orchestrating this whole thing. My grandmother has a house in the Hocking Hills. It's a beautiful acreage tree farm with this wonderful walk that we always do whenever we go down there. So I planned it that we would walk through our normal walk, and she was not dressed up at all, so she's probably mad at me about that. But the surprise was great because she had no idea it was coming. She didn't cry when I asked her, but when I told her her parents were actually there as well, she cried then. So
they did a lot of the planning, but I'm sure the root of the idea was from you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. For mine was not quite as cool. I had a PowerPoint presentation planned, and I did pros and cons, and I had 13 pros and 12 cons.
Did you? This is real?
No, I'm making this up.
Okay.
This is for comedic. No, and then I gave her a couple weeks, and she thought it over. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Tip the scales. This one is a little out there. I looked up your wedding registry online, Will.
Wow.
And
he gets creepy. It's okay to say.
At what point does this become stalker? We'll let the judge figure that out. But I looked up your registry. No one got you that solar-powered bathroom scale that you asked for.
I have been waiting for it, man. I have. We actually don't. We've been waiting for a scale. We don't have one.
So you never bought it yourself?
No.
Really?
Okay, so literally it runs through solar power.
Yeah.
And is it like super fancy? Was it like $500 or something?
Well, if it was, then that's why no one bought it for me.
It was $49.99. It was $49.99.
See, he knows it better than I do.
You might be getting a gift in the mail soon.
Well, how does a bathroom scale work on solar power though inside? This is confusing. Does it also work on?
I just like the idea of it, guys. Don't judge me.
He's an energy guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, moving on here. We'll call this boot camp. I hear that you are. First off, yeah, we can see it on camera.
We're going to zoom in on the shoes.
Well, you've got great shoes here. I've heard though that you wear Uggs.
I do like Uggs.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't pull this off. I've never tried. Can you sell me the confidence I need to wear some Uggs?
It depends on which. First of all, it depends on which ones you're going to wear.
Okay.
Because I don't wear
what I would wear.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I love my Uggs, by the way.
But they are fantastic. I have the moccasin slippers, which I wear all the time.
Okay.
And if I'm selling them to you, your feet ever get cold in the wintertime?
Terribly cold.
Okay. I mean,
I'm trying to make this an easy sale.
Yeah,
Terribly
exactly. Just
cold.
buy them. They're great. Your feet will be warm.
And he's going to be the next spokesperson because Tom Brady is on his way out.
Once Tom retires, yeah, he
right here, guys. Will Trapp.
Now, did they hook you up? Because I saw a picture about a year and a half ago. We do research for this segment where you said thanks, for. Did they hook you up?
I have a buddy that, yeah. I'm plugging a little bit here, guys. Just let me be.
Hey, that's fine. As long as we remember it's delivered by Donato's. Okay. Last one here. The Last Supper. I know that you're a big Chipotle fan. Okay. Let's say you had one day left to live on Earth. What would you order at Chipotle? What's your go-to order?
Last day on Earth, what would I order from
Which is kind of a morbid way to be eating Chipotle.
So,
but
yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. Well, we are on like a low-carb diet, so I'm getting chips and guac, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to have double chicken, guacamole, cheese, lettuce, medium, and a little bit of the hot salsa. The hot salsa can be a little much.
You scale back a little.
I sweat quite a bit when I eat that.
Okay.
It's rough. And then just a nice big Coke.
So,
nice.
So what got you into like the Chipotle kick? Because see, I'll eat Chipotle. Don't get me wrong, but like I know a lot of people that just it's like they eat it 5 times a week.
It's religion.
Yeah, I was fortunate. The MLS partnered with Chipotle a few years ago, and they ended up passing out Chipotle gold cards to one guy on each team. So
nice.
I stacked the cards in my favor by doing kind of an organic Chipotle event for myself where I paid for people who were wearing crew gear to come to Chipotle, and I paid for the burritos.
So
cool. Then they gave me the card, and I was like, perfect, now I get free Chipotle for a year.
Absolutely.
And they keep re-upping it.
Well, this is what I love. The difference between, say, me and a professional athlete. You're still thinking low carb on your last day on Earth.
I love it. I love it.
I'm doubling everything on my last day on Earth. That's not bad. Well, Will, thank you so much for having some fun. You survived Wall of 10. Was that scary?
It wasn't that scary. There were a couple scary ones. I made it through.
You conquered it, buddy.
Well, thanks. Best of luck, by the way, rest of the season with Columbus Crew SC.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we are not done here on Wall to Wall Sports, delivered by Donato's. Coming up, the Blue Jackets trying to help their playoff seed against the Philadelphia Flyers. Stay with us.